Okay, so now let's move on to where we want to start copying this data into our template. Okay, so remember we have an Excel template which shows us the format in which our data must be, which is this one here. Alright, remember the template says you have last name, first name, the date of birth, and then you have sex, and then afterwards you have date of admission, blah 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 blah. Alright, so what we are going to do is to make this process much faster. What I'm going to do is, for now, first of all, I'm going to switch these columns. I'm going to switch date of birth and sex, so that it's easier to just copy everything and paste it here. Okay, instead of copying these columns one at a time. But afterwards, please, you must remember that date of birth comes before the sex. That's how it is in the system. You know, you have to get the date of birth first before you get the sex. Let's see. So we're going to cut this and insert it here. We just say insert castles. So what I've done is I've switched these two columns, and I'll show you the reason why I had to switch them. But later we have to take it back. Okay, you might find that even I myself will forget, but the system will give us an error because the data will fail to import. So we'll have to switch these two. So let's go now, and we want to get the first data, which is from 8A. Okay, and what we want to do, so let me show you something here. We want to get this, we want to get the surname and the first name and this sexes here. Now in order to do that, first let's move all the sexes that we generated using our formula. We move them to this other column here. So I'm going to, you can copy or you can cut if you want. I'm going to copy for now, and I want to paste into this one here. And this is why you really have to be careful, because you can end up, you know, having errors, and you might miss a cell and so forth. So when pasting, instead of pasting everything, I want to just paste the values, right? No, here, just the values, like that. So this allows me to copy and see what I'm copying. I'm starting from the first pupil. Okay, I move on up to the last column, which is X, and then I press Shift and Control at the same time and press the down arrow, so it copies all the pupils like that. I mean, it selects all the pupils, and then I can press Control C. I've copied everything. Then I go to my template. Okay, my template is here, and I go to the first record. You don't need to put, this name is just an example, so we need to remove it. So I'm going to press Control V and paste. So you see, it has brought, so this was the reason why I had to switch sex and date of birth. Otherwise, what I would have had to do was, first I copy the names, I paste, and then I come back and copy only the sexes and then paste. So I wanted a quicker way where I can paste both the names and the sexes. So what we need to do before we go to the other classes is, remember, we must specify the class ID here, right? Before you start going to many other things. So we need to put the class ID, and we know that these pupils are from 8A. So we go to our class list, which is this one, Terry classes. That's why we had to create it first. So you copy that 8A morning as it is, as whole as it is. You paste it in here, which you already did, of course. Then you must drag it for all these pupils. Just copy the same value. Alright? Copy the same value, take it all the way down to the last pupil there. Confirm that yes, you've done the correct thing. So the last pupil there shows that their class is 8A. So good. You can remove this remark just for you not to be confused. And then notice that here we've said father, the parent type will be father, and the system is automatically picking for you, oh, this is the father, below the surname. Okay, of course you don't really care that much, but you can change this later. So for now, even these, we pull them, or you can even do this later. Actually, you don't need to do this now. You can just pull for everyone to fulfill the same thing. We'll do the same thing for the school. So for now, we'll concentrate on filling in. First, we want to fill in the last name, first name, sexes, and the class IDs. The other things like date of admission, we'll have to do them as a, as a second step. Second step of putting data into the template. So now let's move on to the next class. So again, the next class is, so we go back to this file here. So you go back to your original file, which has the pupil names. So we select 8B now. So remember, we must do the same thing. Let's replace these so that we put them here, and that would allow us to copy to easily copy things. So first I'll select the first one, press Ctrl Shift down arrow. I can even cut, okay, and then I select the first cell there, and then when pasting, no, I shouldn't cut, because then it will not allow me to paste values. So I just press Ctrl C so that I copy, and then when pasting I save values like that. And then I'll select the first surname, first there, and then down. I've copied all the pupils. Then I'll go to my Excel sheet. So this is now 8B. So I'll go to the last pupil that I'd added for 8A, then go to the next one and paste. There I have my data, and I know that from this one now this is 8B. So I have to go to the file which has the classes, which is this one. I copy 8B and I go back there, paste 8B here. Then I need to drag all the way to the end like that, put it there, and you can see it's all 8B. Then I move on to the next class. So I must go to the next one very quickly, which will be 8C. Again, I need to move these X's, copy, then paste values, and then down arrow, and then I paste at the very end there. I know that this is 8C, so I go to the classes and pick the ID for I pick the ID for 8C, which is that one, and I paste it here. Then I must drag for all the pupils like that. Again, you must always confirm that you did the correct thing. Now that we've done 8C, let's move on to the grade 9s. Oh, we should be here. So now we move on to 9, which will be 9A. Let's do the same thing. Of course, at some point I'll pause the video so that you don't get bored with all this stuff. I'll show you when I'm done. So again, I'll paste the values there like this. Okay, copy this, then we'll go to here, yes, paste. This is 9A now, so go to the classes again, get the class ID which is 9A. So be careful, don't just follow the order, because 9A is here, this is 9C, so you have to be careful there. So check for 9A where it is, then copy it, and then go to this one which is 30 pupils, paste 9A there, and make sure you apply it to all the pupils down all the way there. Now let's go to 9B. 9B is here. Again, we must move this just to facilitate easy copying. Paste there, and then we do this and down, and then we paste. This is 9B, so we go to the classes and pick 9B, which is this one, and then we are here, we paste, we apply it to all the pupils, which is up to there. Are we correct? Yes. Then we should move on to 9C. 9C is this one. So let's move. I'll show you the other way. The other way which I would have done is where you don't have to start moving these things. Just go there, copy the names, then go to the pupil names, but you see that this will be a lot more work. And then you go back and pick the sex on its own. Go down. Then when you're pasting the sex, you must paste values like that. Okay? This is 9C, so you have to go and pick the class 9C. And then put it there and apply it to all pupils. There. Okay? So, I'll do the grade 10s and 11s and 12s without recording because now you get the idea. Okay, so I'll move everything here, and then in the next video now I'm going to show you how do you fill in this these other columns. How do you fill in the date of admission, grade admitted in current grade. Okay, so I'll pause the video for now. So now we are done with copying the pupil names, their sexes, and also specifying their classes. So you can see this is one long list of all the pupils. Okay, so we have all the pupils from 8A all the way up to 12C, everybody in one long list, unlike the way they were initially in separate sheets. Okay, so you can see these are all different sheets, but now we just have one list in this template of ours. So basically in the next video I'm now going to show you how you can add, how you can specify the dates of admission, the grade admitted in, and current grade. Now before we go, remember that we had switched the sex and the date of birth, so let's now put them back the way they're supposed to be. So the date of birth should come before sex, so we simply cut it and then right click on sex and say insert cut cells. So it just features the two. This is how it's supposed to be, and it does it for all classes, you see. So that's much better. Let's save the current state of the template, and yeah, and then we'll proceed from there, and we see how we insert this other stuff, and also the parents and the school ID, and then from there on we'll be ready to do the import. So see you in the next video.